one of the toughest tests in Champions League would be to go away to Inter. You rotate the team, and you have full confidence if you're Mikel Arteta that these guys can get the job done. And I thought in the moments in which Inter were able to string a few passes together and they push Arsenal back, you saw something that I think is going to be critically important for the success of Arsenal in the deeper stages of this competition, and that is toughness. If the game calls for us to defend, we can defend. If the game calls for us to get out in transition, we can get out in transition. If the game calls for us to be able to have possession of the ball, we can do that too. And we can do that with a starting team and with a rotated team as well. That sends a very strong message, never mind to us, but to themselves, that they are building something special there. It's about now maintaining that momentum moving forward. Arsenal, and I agree with Stevie, we're very impressive.
Yeah. Don, you've also got them in your top three, and as the guys are mentioning, they were up against a strong opponent to go away from home, and they come away with a win and 3 goals.
Flawless, that's what they've been in the Champions League, sitting top of the group. They've cruised, finishing in first place. They deserve it, as the boys have just nailed it there. They've got a fantastic squad. The momentum's good. The performance is good. When you go away to Inter in San Siro, you're playing against a top side who are well organised, who have got fantastic players themselves, and sitting top of Serie A, they are a hard team to try and break down. I remember them, I'm not sure it was last season or the season before, when they went to San Siro and played Inter under Inzaghi, done a job on them, and they never really got a kick that night. I thought the other day, they were absolutely magnificent.
So they've never won the Champions League. Could it be that the wait would all be worth it because they might just win the Champions League and the Premier League in the same season, Stevie?
Well, the wait's never worth it. You'd rather just keep winning. I think the cautionary tale is Liverpool of last year, because Arsenal find themselves in the exact same position that Liverpool are in. Liverpool at this stage last year were dominating the Premier League, were sat atop of the Champions League group, and looked as though the conversation was, well, who's favourite to win the Premier League and who's favourite to win the Champions League as well? And all the answers were Liverpool. So Arsenal need to look at Liverpool from last year and make sure they don't fall away the way Liverpool did. But it seems unlikely, for all the reasons that Ali was talking about, with the fact that they can make so many changes. I mean, they made, 6 changes for this game against Inter and still dominated. So, yeah, it seems incredible that they would do what Liverpool did last year, falling away. I don't see that happening. However, to win the Premier League and the Champions League, I think the odds are against it.
It would be against most teams. Obviously, it's hard to do to win the double, but it's definitely a possibility this year for Arsenal, if any.
Well, and if Manchester City continues to struggle, which are the one team that you thought maybe could potentially push Arsenal in the Premier League, but if they continue to struggle and they lack consistency and they can't get results, it makes it a whole lot easier for them and less stressful in the Premier League, which then would allow them to, hey, all right, Premier League is taken care of, comes around Champions League time, and we're ready for this. We can prepare the team accordingly. And this is the position that Mikel Arteta now has, I can choose what team to play where. And there isn't a drop-off in terms of the level of performance. All of those things are great news for Arsenal, great news for Mikel Arteta. But as I mentioned a couple of days ago, now the question becomes, is there a little bit of overthinking going on with Mikel Arteta and Arsenal? That's the one thing that I think they have to guard against. Manchester City won't be perfect from here on out. Arsenal has the Premier League in their hands, and it's now a question of how can we build from here? How can we be better than what we have been so far? And if indeed we're able to improve in certain things that perhaps allows them to go deeper and deeper and deeper in Champions League, the deeper you go, this is a team that can defend, this is a team that can defend the ball, this is a team that can score goals, and that's the one question. Who's going to score the big goal? Because we're still waiting. Is it Gyökeres? Probably not. Gabriel Jesus? Maybe. Who knows? That's the one question that you can continue to ask about Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper look into the pick. Stevie Nicol has Liverpool second, and obviously we saw a surprising display against Marseille, and that it was professional and comfortable from them.
It's 2 different teams in Europe and domestically, basically. I mean, in the Premier League, Liverpool, as a unit going forward, have struggled to create and score that many goals. And from a defensive point of view, they've looked so vulnerable every time anybody breaks on them. But then in Europe this year, and particularly in this game against Marseille, all of those things kind of disappeared. They defended when they had to. And going forward, they looked as though they were going to create every time they went forward, and it was a surprise that they only got 3. So, if you're a Liverpool fan, Europe's magic. This is great. This is what Liverpool want to see, or Liverpool fans want to see from Liverpool in the Premier League. But somehow, some reason, they can't produce it in the Premier League, and it's really a head-scratcher.
Yeah, it's Don, what do you think about this? Obviously, Mo Salah's back. We've just seen this performance in Europe. Can they translate it into the Premier League for what's left of the season and kick on?
I think they have to, but I think to Stevie's point, I think it's a mentality thing. I think, you know, when Arne Slot talks about low blocks, I think it's in the player's head. They're not burying teams. Normally when you watch Liverpool over the edge, you think someone's going to get a hiding. Someone's going to get a spanking. I don't get that sense with Liverpool this season, not in the league. It wouldn't surprise me if they drop points against Bournemouth at the weekend, but I think it's no secret what you're watching with Liverpool in Europe and what you've seen, even though the results have not been there, i.e. the Burnley game. Kirkes starts to look like a Liverpool player now. He's flying, Frimpon's flying, so maybe it just took a little bit of time for the players, the new signers especially, to get up and running. I thought they were both great in Europe against Marseille. As Stevie said, Ali said, it's a hard place to go, the Velodrome. Before the game, I was thinking, I'd take a point, and then Kyrat, I think, on match day 8, 4 points out of the 6, Liverpool should be fine. But that is a bit of a statement win, that. So that should give them loads of confidence then going into the Bournemouth game at the weekend.
They've not made your top 3, Ale. Was it that Marseille made it a little bit too easy for them?
No, I was only given 3 spots, okay? If you had given me a top 4, I would have included Liverpool. It was right there with Real Madrid in terms of what I thought were the impressive performances. And my third team was Real Madrid, and I thought Liverpool was a close 4th. I thought that, to Stevie's point, what we saw from Liverpool against Marseille was the sort of performance that makes you think, well, where in the world has this been? You look at, there was maturity to this performance by Liverpool. There was full concentration in defensive moments. There was dynamic movement in the attack. There was 1v1 situations where they're breaking people down. The passing game a whole lot quicker than it has been. In fact, you could afford Mohamed Salah missing chance after chance after chance. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Liverpool were that dominant against Marseille. Now, Marseille created a couple of chances here and there that could have made this a little bit more stressful, but there was never a doubt that Liverpool were the better team. And I don't think we can say that wholeheartedly about what Liverpool has been this year. How many times during the season have we said, you know what, they were the best team on the field? Well, they were the best team against Marseille. They haven't always been the best team this season.
Do you think the problems are being put to bed now, Stevie, and that's that?
I wish. I don't think so. Take a little bit more, Kay.
Okay, we'll see if they resurface.